Thanks everybody for joining us. Mike Jacobs has the night off. Directly across from the Bradley Center, there is a building that is more than a century old.
You know about it. It's Turner Hall, and there's a rich history inside those walls.
Bridget Shanahan shows us around.
Inside this burned-out ballroom is 133 years of Milwaukee history. Turner Hall hosts almost every kind of event imaginable, from concerts to weddings to wrestling matches, and it's been doing it for a long time.
There were many Turner Halls at the time, but this was really the grand one of them all.
Turner means gymnastics in German, but this historic ground is much more than that.
The Turner saying at the time, and still to this day, is sound body, sound mind, sound mind, sound body. And so it really was a place for gymnastics, but not only that, maybe even more famously for the social movements that started here.
PR director for the Pabst Theater Group, Andy Nelson, says the United States progressive movement was started here in this ballroom in 1910. But it wasn't just home to political events and gymnastics, but balls, galas, and an orchestra playing Bach music every Sunday.
Really from 1882 till about the 1920s, this place was just filled with life almost every day.
You can still see reminders of that life, written on the walls and etched in the wood on the balcony.
This really is my favorite place in the entire ballroom, and that unless you get up into the balcony at a show you probably don't even know exists.
In fact, you might just be setting your drink down on some historic graffiti.
And then look at the dates on here, 1923, 1919. So this just really speaks to the history.
The building was designed by Henry C. Koch, who also designed Milwaukee City Hall. Luckily, it was built mostly out of Cream City brick and survived two massive fires in the late 30s and early 40s.
They used to have gas lighting throughout. So in 1939 and 1941, there were two huge fires. And then obviously around that time, was the Great Depression.
Following those fires, the building was dormant for decades. Then, in the 1970s, work was done to make it structurally sound without losing its history.
There's been a lot of work done to it, a lot of money put in to make it structurally sound, but it doesn't look like a mall cafeteria. This place has a look and a vibe very much as it did back in 1882.
While it has always been owned by the Turner Board, the Pabst Theater Group took over ballroom operations in 2007, bringing in up-and-coming artists that have since turned it into big names.
One of our early shows as well was the Black Keys, and so to have them, kind of they're just the guitarist and drummer on stage. That was one of the loudest shows we've ever had here. And then flash forward, 5 years, and they were playing right across the street at the Bradley Center.
So if you ever have a chance to see a show at Turner Hall, don't hesitate and try to take in some Milwaukee history while you're there. Bridget Shanahan, today's TMJ4.
That story was written by somebody we would love to put on television right now, but she's being shy. Our assignment editor, Mary Franzen, put that together. She writes a lot of other things about the history of Milwaukee. They're all on the website at TMJ4.
And she said if we point that camera at her, she's going to kill us.
Nice job,
But,
Mary.
Mary, you deserve it. You should have come on down here. We could have talked to you. But we're going to get her on here and talk about it.
She'll talk to us when we're in the newsroom later.
Thank you, Mary. Excellent job.